BKT podcast with me, Baron, Cammy, that other guy, and Thron's that other guy.
Hey, so
Hello there.
And today we actually have a new member. Welcome, Zanderfist.
Hi, I'm Zanderfist.
Yeah,
you know,
straightforward.
Mr. Fist, as I'm referred
say
to.
something British.
Crumpets.
Yeah, there we go.
All right,
All right.
We got
we're
it.
all set. Yep. So
That's
first,
big funny.
yeah. So first today we have what we missed with the previous podcast, which was the day after we did it. They announced Clone Wars Season 7. So we're going to be getting the Siege of Mandalore arc, the Bad Batch arc,
And
Yeah.
the Ahsoka thing.
but yeah, that's the Siege of Mandalore.
No, I mean there's like the she's like
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
that-
run, isn't or not on the run, but just like
Yeah, just living on
Living
level
Order
1313.
66.
yeah,
I mean, that's-
season 6.5.
yeah, I mean, I guess it
Yeah.
would kind of be interesting to see if they do like lead into that with the Siege of Mandalore arc, where it's like you see like the start of Order 66, since that was like around the same time as the Siege of Mandalore.
I think they said Order 66 is like in the
It
season
happens
7.
during Siege, but like I don't know, will they show that part? I hope they do.
Yeah, I mean, because like you hear from Rex and Rebels, he says like, "Oh, I didn't betray my Jedi," so we'll have to see if that actually if that actually means like it had like Ahsoka was around him during the time Order 66 started.
He said his Jedi, but like Ahsoka by then wasn't even a part of the Order anymore. So, don't you remember? I'm no Jedi.
Yeah, but only by technicality.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, it's like, yeah, she's pretty much still in it.
No, she's our brand new concept.
Yeah,
Right,
she
Jedi.
is.
Dave Filoni's child.
No,
Just
no, shut up.
pretty
Yeah.
much is though. But on the other note, and I'm not sure, I think Cammy has some strong feelings about this, but Bad Batch coming to
Yeah.
fruition.
I don't fucking like Bad Batch. They're just such a like retarded concept.
I mean, at least to me, like it kind of like calls back to Republic Commando, which I quite enjoyed from days of playing original Xbox. That you just like had like all this personality each of them, and then Clone Wars kind of like, hey, here they are. Guess what? They all sound like regular clone troopers. So
Yeah,
I
but
like that. Sorry, go on.
No, you go ahead.
I like that. That's kind of one of the selling points of the Clone Wars is that it dives deeper into all these, people who look exactly the same but lead their own lives and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of the commando squad is not a bad idea. I just don't like how different they all are. It's like because it's based on like the concept is that they're all like genetic deformities, right? Or just mutations that they decided are advantageous. And I'm just kind of like, whatever to that. It's not a huge thing, but like I always appreciated, the uniformity of it. And like because it's the contrast of uniformity physically versus individuality in like personality. So then like having Bad Batch, because Bad Batch they look different, they sound like noticeably different. It's kind of like not as it's more of just George Lucas and Filoni wanted to create the A team and put it in like episodes. That's pretty much it.
Put it a fool who teams up with those bots.
It's really to me it's more A team than like Republic Commando. It's like Republic Commando has a certain similarity, but it's just
yeah, I mean,
yeah. I'd like to actually see them try like actual commandos in like a story. Doesn't have to be this show, but it could be something else.
They have a commando in the Clone Wars that
Yeah, but
Rengar.
I don't care about it because he was in the worst arc in season 5, and then he
Wow.
showed up in Rebels. And in Rebels, it's like he's just crazy, and it's not really much of a personality. Okay.
I'm crazy
like,
cookie.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I survived, and it made me crazy. Haha, look how funny I am. Let's go get some big fish. Haha.
Was he the one that dies at the end of Rebels?
Yeah.
Yes, he does. And I was just like, I don't I don't care about you.
Wow.
I didn't
I
really
just-
know who they were, so I was
Goodbye,
Yeah, I was just
Joker,
like,
the clone.
who are you again?
obsessively looking up
They-
the wiki to find out which one died. And
They killed
When they
a
appeared in
character
Dungeon
that
City.
mattered really little. And they're like, haha, look, the stakes are raised. He died. I'm just like, who? Who are you again?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't even tell like which clone that really was, like, unless they like said his name.
Yeah.
Like I only know Rex because he has the big, manly, sexy beard. But it's just like these other
Yeah.
two. I don't even know who the other fucking dude is with his
Wolf.
eye missing.
Wolf, because
More like
he
Wolf.
doesn't
nobody.
really
Get
like
out of here.
Funko.
Back to Jakku with you.
Wow.
no
Yeah,
one
I mean-
goes back to Jakku. So.
Who wants to
Why
go
does
back to
everybody
Jakku?
want to keep going back to Jakku?
Mm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
But
mean,
the thing with the Bad Batch is I feel like it kind of dwarfs the concept of like the ARC troopers and the clone troopers where they're like specialized and then put into like units because they have like their traits, and then you just have like these, you know, these born like clones that are just like naturally strong or like naturally smart, and it's like what's the point of this? Like you already have other clones you never like really explored or like made
Yeah,
up
I just
as a
don't like it
basis.
because like I just don't like the loss of like the sameness. That's just my thing, I guess.
yeah, I mean, I guess
I like having them all be the same looking.
because they kind of changed the thing for ARC troopers, where like it used to be that they were like closer to Jango Fett's original like template, that you know
Yeah.
they're more independent and stuff.
And
but-
now they're just trained in,
yeah, they're
which is
just
like whatever.
they're like veteran soldiers. Like, hey, we're gonna make
Yeah.
you a special unit now.
Yeah.
That's
And
the
Legends, they're like really Legends-fied. It's just like they're trained by Jango Fett, and also
Well,
like
it's like those are
50,000 other
the
Mandalorians.
I think those are the null or no nulls were trained by Kalskara. Yeah, so like the in Legends like the idea of arcs was that they're like above Republic commandos even. Like they're more like actual,
yeah,
you know, super
because they
soldier
have
tier.
independency. Wow.
Yeah. But
fucking
then
independent
like
clone that don't need no Jedi general.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, fuck
in
the Bad
canon it's
Batch.
more like arcs are just like mildly better than your average. Or better than your average in some ways, yeah.
I would rather take that over just the Bad Batch because I think the Bad Batch also kind of ruined like I guess the feel of Star Wars because they're like almost superhero-like. So it's like
Really?
you already have like
I don't
the
care
the
about that.
Jedi, whatever, for like the ultra powerful bullshit, and you just
Yeah.
have like Hulk clone.
Hulk clone. Whatever. That part I was like, whatever.
Hulk dad.
Well, because, you know, I'm a Legends fan, so of course I like superpowers. Right?
Yeah, get out of here, fucking glove of Vader.
Yeah, what about the okay, but what about like the other arcs? Like I totally forgot. Because I remember seeing cut scenes of like the Ahsoka in the lower levels stuff.
Yeah,
But then like
it was like she stumbles across like some other people who are like living
Yeah.
down in 1313, and so
Yeah,
she kind of
some
like works
dude.
with them.
and then like some yeah. I don't know how that arc's gonna go. It could be really boring, but it could be really good.
I'm looking forward to
Maybe it'll
season
depend on
Probably-
the mood.
It's probably like a lead up, you know, like maybe that's like her like coming back to like Coruscant, and she gets like found by the Jedi and goes like, "Hey, do you want to join our siege of Mandalore?" And she's like, "Wow, I sure do." And then she walks into a room where like the clones are like in the middle painting themselves orange, and it's like, "We're here to celebrate you. Welcome back."
Yeah, I wonder if some of the arc for Ahsoka is going to be like borrowed from the unused 1313, like kind of storyboard. I don't know, just kind of the
I
thought
thought
of
it was just gonna be
because
like straight adapted.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I don't know.
Did like Dave Filoni work on 1313?
I do not know.
Oh, you mean the game? The,
The
game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
Oh, okay.
imagine so. Yeah, I mean,
No.
Yeah, because I don't know how early on it was scrapped, because they had like the trailer for it, but
Yeah, I feel like if you have like a trailer for it, there's like a story part is at least like you've got story stuff.
yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
Go
I
ahead.
think it might get picked up again because I mean they haven't released like much of like anything because like you know for a scrap like game they would just like put it all out there, like this is what we have. But, like they're
Yeah.
holding on to it, so there might be something coming for it.
Maybe it's
Maybe
what
just repurpose it into something different, like not a
The
game
Clone
necessarily,
Wars?
but yeah, maybe.
Conspiracy? I think not.
yeah, just ports the models over and everything.
Disney Plus animated show, something like that. I don't know.
Maybe. But yeah, like as far as like the Siege of Mandalore though, one of the big things that got me I guess a bit hyped up for it was you had like that action scene you saw, but also like that they were actually using the person who did the stunts for Darth Maul, and
Ray
like
Park.
yeah, and that he was actually gonna like do the lightsaber fighting for Maul. So like pretty sure they're gonna have a bit more intense of a lightsaber fight than like Obi-Wan versus Maul at the end of Rebels.
Yeah, even though that was pretty good as is, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way that one
It's
went.
like Darth Maul. Do you remember this pose? He's like, yes, the pose done by your late master, Qui-Gon Jinn. I will kill you the exact same way I killed him. And then he goes in for the kill, and he's like, no, fuck off, Maul.
Yeah.
And he closes
Yeah.
his eyes and throws his body.
But I mean,
away.
like with the way the show usually works, like no matter how, like all the fights end up being like long. It
Mhm.
feels. It's like no matter how like powerful in theory a character should be, it's just like it's all the same-ish.
I mean, Vizsla versus Maul was pretty unique, I guess, because like you saw like all the
Well, not I mean not same-ish in like actual what happens, just mean like in like length
okay.
or like the effort that both sides are putting in. Like when Anakin's fighting Barriss, and it's just kind of like it's the chosen one versus whoever she is again, and then it's just like
Yeah.
it goes on, and she gets like a few good hits on him, and like really. Same with like no, because I remember thinking about this. It was I forgot exactly what brought this up to mind. But I was just thinking about how like all the fights just like no matter how theoretically powerful they should be, like they're all like even footing for a while until one guy gets an edge in like a lightsaber duel or something like that. It's just like okay, that's just something I noticed, which is reasonable. I'd say it's reasonable, but it's noticeable.
Yeah, fair enough. So, on to the big topic of this podcast, Endgame. So,
I guess that's
We're
my
in it
cue.
now.
Yeah, get out. Okay.
so yeah, starting from the beginning though, probably like the most powerful like scenes for like Hawkeye in like terms of like how how people feel about the character, because like man, that was pretty rough. Like just his
Like you mean
entire
like
family.
the beginning? Yeah.
The decimation.
I
hits.
suddenly felt like I cared about it. Well, I mean, like we already see him in like the second Avengers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel
There
it
was
was a lot
some.
better done in Endgame, because like in the second one it's kind of like, hey, Hawkeye is the emotional anchor for the Avengers, right? That makes sense. And it's like, I don't know. It's like I was okay with the family part and seeing that, but then when it tried to turn to like, oh yeah, he's got to keep the team together, just I don't know, I
Yeah.
just don't really see that.
I mean, I didn't care for like a lot of the core Avengers characters at the start, but this film kind of just, I don't know, really turned that on its head, I guess.
I mean, I think it definitely it didn't always work, but I think it like tried the most. With like I'm mostly thinking just Black Widow and what's his face, Hawkeye, right?
Yeah.
And, yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
mostly them, but like I felt like they didn't really get anything in the previous movies
Hmm.
except for Hawkeye in the second Avengers. But then
Plus, I
like
think in comparison to, sorry, in comparison to the superpowered characters and stuff, it's a little underwhelming. I
yeah,
guess.
it's cool because they're side characters, right? But I didn't really care, but I mean like the movie certainly tried its best because suddenly they felt like they had like more to them.
Mm.
But it's like it still like comes in like it's like, oh, the Hush is like, Shield is my life or something like that. I'm just like, yeah, totally. I just because it didn't really come up before, Oh man, Shield's my life. Like I gotta, Like that's all I have. I'm just like, I never really felt that from because you weren't really because like Black Widow's just not really much of a she's not really important in any of the movies. She's just there to like be like romantic option bait for like a bunch of male heroes is what it feels like. And I was just it's kind of sad because he's kind of cool. But it's just, and then of course she dies.
Yeah.
It's just like
Yeah, she's probably gonna
well,
get
she's
more
the one
like
who gets
of the prequel movie for her. I imagine it's probably gonna be a lot deeper into like her origin story that we kind of saw in Ultron.
yeah. I would hope so.
Yeah. So
Because-
Well,
maybe
yeah, it can't be a sequel now, can it?
As it is now, it's just I don't care.
Unless it's her just like floating around the Soul Stone for 10 episodes.
yeah.
Oh yeah, when they're trying to like choose who's gonna die and they're like fighting over it was like interesting. But
Oh, God, it was.
I just
It's when they mentioned the fact that they were going to Vormir for the Soul Stone. If for some reason it didn't actually kick in until Red Skull appeared that one of them had to die.
yeah.
When you
It's
go
just
back and
like
think about it, it's incredibly
it was like
oh shucks kind of thing.
comical and emotional. I don't know. It was slightly comical because I still don't quite care for some of the like for those two, but like it was like I could kind of feel it. I was like, oh yeah, this kind of sucks.
Seems like
But the way they went about it was just fucking hilarious. It's just I'm gonna do it. It's like no, I'm gonna do it, and they're just fighting over who gets the
And because they both care about the other and just like they wouldn't want to like I don't know because
Yeah.
like they both must know like how much of like a loss it'll be to each other like if they
Yeah.
lose it.
I mean, they obviously they have some sort of like friend relation, like they're friends obviously because Hawkeye would never cheat on his wife. But then like yeah, they're friends and they obviously have like a long relationship and like they reference things that we just never have seen yet. And I imagine
Yeah,
that would
there
be
was,
what the prequel movie would be about.
There was that mission that they talked about, and but we don't know what it. Budapest, that's it. We
Yeah,
don't know
they
what
keep
that
on
is.
bringing up.
But I
And
guess
then I imagine the idea is that like she was like a bad guy, and then he convinced her to not be a bad guy, and that's like the whole
Oh yeah.
that's the whole
I
angle.
mean, I think some things.
She was like a super assassin.
Yeah, some things are intentionally left to be like thought about, but not specifically
Yeah.
shown. You know.
But yeah, they're minor characters in the long run.
But I
Overall,
think
so
after-
unfortunate.
Yeah, but I think after this, I actually like care about a Black Widow movie now because
Yeah, I'm interested a
They
bit
create
more
that
in
engine.
seeing.
Yeah. But yeah, talking about the main characters though, and like how much of a hit it was when they came back, like especially like Iron Man, I feel like, because like this is where he cracks. Like he just lost against Thanos, he lost Spider-Man,
Yeah,
and he's
Yeah.
just like after all this stuff, after Ultron, after New York,
yeah, and
everything,
it's
he's
just like. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's like the idea is that like even though he cracks or whatever 5 years later, blah blah blah, and it's just like he still is in the end he still like is ready to go. You know, he's like he comes through.
yeah, he takes his
So
time
he's still
too,
got
but
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, because
then-
eventually he realizes that he's the smartest person in the Avengers still, and just
yeah.
yeah.
Y'all, you dumbasses can't figure it out. It's up to me. You know?
Mm.
God,
Exactly.
he's my favorite. He still is my favorite MCU character, and probably will always be at this. Yeah, I feel like he will always be. There's no one who's gonna like because I just really like the
Yeah.
way Robert Downey Jr. plays him
He
by
is
mostly just
Iron
playing
Man,
himself.
essentially. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he certainly went out on a high note, and I think he's probably the character I cared about the most because Iron Man had some. I think I read some Iron Man stuff ages ago, but
He's had, and also like just the way MCU sets up is like he gets beaten down just like a lot.
hmm.
He gets like nearly killed like a shitload of times.
yeah, PTSD and all.
It's
I'm still
just-
not a fan. I'm still not a fan of Iron Man 3. I don't know. I think it'll just elude me
Hmm.
forever.
Iron Man 3, yeah. I actually thought it was okay, but like, yeah, I can see why people don't like it.
Yeah, my problem with it is like it feels like it loses a bit of the impact when he's like, oh yeah, I'm done with the whole suit making and saving the world. I'm gonna be with you, Pepper, and then he just go Age of Ultron happens and he's like, oh, gotta bust
Oh
this.
yeah, I feel like no, I feel like that's with like that's like an egregious case, but I think that's like a symptom of just the way MCU works, which is like it skips over a lot of in between stuff just to get to like when things break down. Like we get like in, for example, like Civil War, right? Like Ultron, Age of Ultron set up like a new Avengers team, and then in Civil War we see them do one mission, and in that one mission something goes wrong at the end, like right off the bat, and then like everything breaks down from there.
Yeah,
So it's just like
it was the straw that broke the camel's back, but the camel's back wasn't strong at all.
Yeah.
It's very weak.
We don't ever get to see the camel actually, carry anything beforehand. It's just kind of like, yeah,
it's like, okay,
all of a sudden.
it's enough. It's a shitty camel.
Yeah.
Going
I mean, like Endgame. What?
I don't know, because like going into like I had seen Captain Marvel, but I had not seen Ant-Man and the Wasp. But I don't know. I kind of feel like at least like they explained it well enough, I guess. Apart from maybe the whole Captain Marvel thing, like, hey, she's here now. If you didn't see Captain Marvel in credit, then whatever. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel a lot of that. Sorry. I feel a lot of that stuff kind of relies on them kind of, I don't know, expecting that the audiences will just like follow these movies religiously and know what's going on.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Like the people that just like stick to the main movies probably just like, wait, what? Who are these characters? But
Sucks to be them.
yeah. But yeah, apparently the whole time travel thing upset a lot of people though. About
Did it upset
Yeah,
people?
that's certainly the most contentious thing I've seen about it so far. Because I just recently saw it, so I saw it last night, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna even think about that because I can't. Yeah.
It's like late. It's like 10. Well, not that late. It was like 10:30
yeah,
at night.
Like I don't get like what the people who were like majorly upset about it had said, but like
I read about some stuff this morning, and it was just like, there's like plot, because like the way the rules are explained, like some of the things with the time travel might not actually line up, though it tries. But it's just contentious, and I don't really care at that point because
yeah. I mean, I
don't care about MCU. No, but it's just
I think with like most time travel in fiction and stuff, you kind of have to suspend disbelief because it's not really a thing that I don't think it can like happen in the real world, probably, no matter how many.
Well, yeah, but it's
like,
it's also
stuff talk about it, but
it's just a question of like, oh, why didn't they kill? I mean, like, because the movie makes a point to explain why you can't go back in time to kill Thanos, like kill Hitler as a baby, sort of thing.
Yeah,
they can't do that.
Which is it's interesting that because Marvel had a thing in the comics called Cosmic Ghost Rider, which is all about Frank Castle going back in time, and I think trying to kill Thanos as a baby, but he ends up raising him instead. Serious.
Yeah,
I don't know if that was intentional.
But yeah,
I guess
I don't,
because I kind of follow like Dragon Ball's logic with time travel, that when you create a change, it creates an alternate reality, so it doesn't actually change like your future.
Yeah.
So that's why it's like, hey, if we go back in time and grab the stones, it's not going to affect us, but it's going to affect them, because now they're on an alternate timeline where they don't have the stone.
Fuck them.
So
Just let them die.
Yeah. So far, the biggest issue I've seen of it is, that people have it, not me necessarily, is that Cap, after he travels back in time, despite apparently altering events, then ends up in the same timeline, sitting on the bench. I guess that's kind of.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no fucking clue.
I mean,
it's nice, It's...
Because
I don't know. Yeah, I just don't really.
I think it's fine what they did with him because like he came out of Endgame unscathed, and then all he wants to do now is he just wants to live a life. Like he doesn't want to keep fighting. Like
Yeah,
can't really blame him.
because this whole thing has been sort of being taken out of time and not really knowing what to do with that, you know.
Yeah, so it's nice that he's able to finally like actually live the life he's wanted to, and then he passes off to Sam. So,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sam Falcon, who's also another character who's I'm like, oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
I remember him totally. He's the winged guy. I don't know. It's just like with with like so many characters, and it's just like I would think you'd pass it on to a character who at least has like a solo. I mean, I guess, but then if they're important enough, then they wouldn't want to take the mantle.
well,
I guess
because
the idea is that
Yeah.
like they're gonna punt it over to Sam Wilson, and then they can make a new Captain America movie about it.
yeah, well, I mean, I guess it's probably more of like a Disney Plus thing about it because there's we'll get into it later, but there'll be one with
Winter Soldier,
Falcon and
Falcon.
Winter Soldier, yeah. So
Yeah.
a lot of the things that they cover in the movies, I'm pretty sure it's just gonna like end up as series at one
Wow,
point.
they really planned this out, didn't they? We're
guess
gonna
so.
make him Cap so people will get excited about that show, and then this will happen. Yeah, dude. Captain Marvel shows up and then gets like at the end. She shows up at the beginning and she shows up again at the end, blows up a ship, and then it gets like yeeted out of existence. Not out of existence, but like yeeted out of the battle by like Thanos. Which is
Which
fucking hilarious. It's just like
because like I heard people compare like her to how Superman was in Justice League, where just like, hey, I'm gonna show up and solve these problems for you, but not all of the problems, but like the way that they do it with Captain Marvel, I feel is just like the fact that you have the entire universe that doesn't have someone to like help them out the way the Avengers help Earth out. I feel like that was a good like way to say she doesn't have to be on Earth all the time. She has like the
yeah.
entire universe to
Yeah,
pay attention.
I like that setup because like if you're gonna have like this super powerful character, like come up with a good reason why they can't be there. So I think I would have liked them to set up like why she would come at the very end, but like I guess they just expected like people aren't gonna be focused on that because everyone's just like nerding out at that point.
Hmm.
So no one's gonna like question if she like shows up. But I think I would have liked them to like sort of play their hands somehow and be like, okay, so this is why she shows up at that like at the end. Someone calls her or some shit like that. I don't know. But
Someone buzzed the space pager again.
God damn. It's just weird. Space feature.
Yeah, no, Fury at the end of Fury being the last person you see at Tony's funeral was such a cool moment, I think. Well, cool but bittersweet, I guess.
I don't know. Tony's funeral was alright, but it was like the way the actors just kind of stood there and like, oh, we're all kind of looking down and being solemn. It was like just really solemn, and I don't know. I would have liked more variety in reactions. But
I guess
whatever.
it's supposed to be like a respectful like goodbye to him as like
Yeah.
all the
Well, I mean that's a funeral, but like there was no one crying. There was no one. It was just weird, man.
Yeah, I think Peter had like tears in his eyes, I guess, but
yeah.
not sure. I mean, to be fair, half the people there didn't really know Tony. Yeah, the Guardians who kind of just the Guardians.
Yeah,
who
it's just
got on
it
out
was
of
just
respect, I guess.
it was just kind of, oh look, it's the whole MCU paying respects or something like that, I guess. Yeah.
Which is good, I guess, because like he was the one who like saved the day. He was the one possibility was that he was gonna stop Thanos by snapping.
Yeah.
Because like you can only like play ball so long with like people just trying to stop him from it, but
You even had General Ross there, kind of like I think he was next to Maria Hill, and that
Yeah, that was
just
Ross.
reminds me of how it reminds me of how like how weird and kind of I don't know what the word is like how that character just kind of floats around the MCU despite he originally being planned as a villain and now he's just kind of a character that exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's very much you can really do with him because he's just like in several like we're gonna stop you guys if you don't follow these accords.
Yeah. I mean, if they had like
I am the general.
if they had an ability to make a sequel to the Incredible Hulk, I'm guessing that either him or the leader would have been the villain to that, because they had setups for the leader, obviously, when he gets the head
He's
swelling and
supposed to
stuff.
be like a like what would be the DC? I mean, like, or did DC take Eiling? Because I remember in the Justice League cartoons there was like General Eiling, who's like supposed to be like he's like pretty much General Ross of like DC.
Hmm.
But then there's also like I don't know. I would have liked to if I were to do Ross, I guess it'd be like base it off what's her face, Amanda Waller, where it's like directly opposing the heroes and trying to like maybe like use villains to like fight the heroes or something like that.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know.
Did you feel like it was too funny though? Because like I've heard some people
At some
bring that
points,
up. Endgame.
always that's what my always my thing with MCU is like some jokes go on too long.
Mm. And
But
some
that's
jokes are
just
just
me.
like, hey, here's Hulk dabbing. There's Korg
No,
playing
I mean
Fortnite. It's totally
that's the one that
relatable.
comes to mind. That's exactly the one that comes to mind
It's
where I'm talking
those
about it goes
yeah.
too long.
Beer
They're the
belly
It goes
jokes
too
Thor.
long
we
and it goes
they're the
too
jokes we
far.
sort of groan, but you laugh anyway. Because no, I
It's
think
just
I don't know. I think it's at the end of the day, it's kind of what you should come to expect from these kind of movies anyway, because that's kind of been the thing for a while now, where
well, yeah,
even
what?
if
You know
even if
what?
the tone suffers.
I'm gonna keep on being disappointed.
That's your
That's
job.
just I'm gonna
Carry on.
expect it, but that doesn't mean I have to like it.
Mm.
I'm gonna
Sure,
keep
no,
shit
but
talking it.
it you know, I think they've got the knack of it now, because more often than not, that's what's being complimented instead of criticized, I guess.
Yeah, because people are normies. That's just kind of how I see it. Like I don't think it's that good, and it's just easy because I still sometimes like I laugh, but like it's like
Kind of like laugh with the audience kind of thing. Or
no, I mean like I'm actually I'm of two minds of it because like I think my general sense of humor is that like I can laugh at a lot of things. So it's like a lot of scenes I'll like sort of smile at, but then like with MCU for some reason, like at a certain point, like I just notice it becoming it becomes less funny just because of like how many there are. It's not about like what the quality of the joke. It's also just about like the sheer number of it
yeah, I feel like
that like
Infinity War
gets
had a
me.
good balance. Like it would be like,
Infinity
hey,
War might have
there's
had a better balance to it, maybe.
yeah.
Yeah, better.
And
But then
Endgame was
like
definitely a lot more silly.
because they had like because like it's like you're it's the fate of the universe, but then it's like it's over a time heist. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I think it's serious when it needs to be.
Yeah.
Unlike, I think, Age of Ultron, where in the first scene or whatever, it's just them like, I don't know, taking
Quipping.
down Struck or whatever, and it's just it's just continuous quipping, and it's like, okay, feels very Whedon, but
And then like the what was it? Iron Man just like he shoots a bunch of the Hydra guys, and then like he says, "Oh, good talk," and then the guy, "No, it wasn't." Like
Yeah.
yeah,
that's
I
good.
noticed that when watching it. I thought such a
Uh,
yeah,
funny
but
murder.
that's what I think. I mean, I think that over time they've got the knack of it, where it's you know
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those I think some people think that Thor was like too much of comic relief, but I don't know.
maybe I don't know. I think
Part of it is also that his like it's just that his movies weren't good, so like I don't feel much about like when he's going back and it's like, oh
Like they're trying to
mother.
offset it with being like, "Hey, he's more funny now." So
But he's like I mean, but yeah, but I mean also mean like the dramatic moments are just like I don't
mm.
because like I never liked
Yeah, I was a bit.
I didn't finish Dark World is the thing. I got to the point where I got like close to the end.
no, it's not super. It could be longer, I guess.
See, I just watched the Thor Loki bits because those were the fun parts.
I saw Thor, but I did not finish Thor 2. So then like
Mm.
and then but I did see
See,
like the whole mother stuff and like it still was lost on like the emotional impact of it. It's like, oh, look how sad Thor is and I'm just like okay.
Yeah,
see,
I
I
think
feel like sorry. I I feel like they kind of missed an opportunity with that because you have a character like a villain who's so bland like Malekith,
Yeah.
and could have potentially added something to him by going back in time and showing that kind of stuff. But I guess they were strapped for time as well as
Yeah, they were 3 hours. Like Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What could they have cut?
I
They
heard
probably could
I heard a friend say the initial time travel, like trying to figure it out part, that he kind of felt like it took a while for them to actually like get to like the time travel stuff.
Yeah, because they were just digging around. They were showing that, like, oh, look, oh, he's a baby now.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, okay, I get it.
it's funny.
That's cool.
Uh,
Because, like,
yeah,
because the
maybe.
thing is, they're trying to figure it out, and, like, it's already figured out.
Yeah.
It's already figured out. Some other guy, like, the other Tony is already on the case, and he's already
Yeah.
finished. He's finished. He's cracked the case. It's already done. And then they're just
He's too
They're-
powerful. He
they're
needs to
doing-
die.
dumb stuff. Yeah.
And then Nebula has to come in and and blow away Ant-Man's taco.
Oh, saddest part of the moment. Saddest part of the movie, obviously.
Yeah.
Truly. I mean, yeah, whatever.
When they did get to the time travel stuff, I think that was pretty nice. Like, at least for, like, they were kind of a mix of between, like, hey, here's, like, some sly things that we forgot to mention. Like, kind of was it the strike team or, you know, the people from Winter Soldier who just come in and
Yeah.
take the stepper?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
it's
just like-
it's strange seeing them again, and it's kind of cool seeing how that scene wraps up. Is just bureaucracy taking place, and the Avengers not being more of a government team than a superhero team at times. It's weird.
And some of the comic parallels as well. Like, you have the Hail Hydra and the Hulk holding up the building and
Yeah.
neat stuff like that.
Mm.
That's
Use the
true.
stairs.
Oh, and I think my favorite though of the time travel bits was Quill just like dancing around.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
that was
Yeah.
probably my favorite part of the time travel.
Yeah.
The other stuff was like, oh, whatever.
And then
but
War
that I
Machine
can
just
remember.
sucker punches him. Yeah. I mean, I think one of the like other concerns people had was with past Thanos, where he's like, oh, well, now I'm gonna kill the whole universe because, you know, you guys are just gonna mess it up. Which
Yeah.
I guess I'm kind of okay. I'm okay with it in the respect that like Infinity War was pretty much Thanos' movie. You saw
That's
like
it,
a
yeah.
lot of the character of this is him over several years building up to this, whereas like you take him from the past and you're like, hey, these guys are here to stop your plans in the future.
But I mean,
like,
that's the thing, because like when you have the final battle be with like this guy who doesn't have any of the history, it just feels kind of weird.
yeah,
It's just kind of weird where it's just like, who are you? It's like, oh, you killed everyone, and he's like, who are you?
I don't know these.
And like
people.
that's basically his interaction with like every single hero. It's like, you will pay, and he's like, who? Nah, I guess maybe later.
Yeah, the only major thing I guess is like the main adventures where it's like, oh yeah, I remember you guys. You tried to stop me before, and now you're stopping me again. Like, what's up with that?
Yeah, but it's just like,
Yeah, that's. And
just
I guess
doesn't-
like the final battle is more for like the effect of like, oh, this is the culmination of 22 movies. They're all coming in.
Yeah.
They're here to fight Thanos' army.
I thought it was more epic than the Infinity War battle,
It was,
which
I-
makes sense. But like, I
Yeah.
actually don't really like the Wakanda battle.
Yeah, it
I
felt
don't.
like a bit of like the low, like, hey, here's our CGI army battle. You know, just
Yeah.
insert.
Whereas like this one, like no, because this one has like it's like a CGI armies, right? But like it's
Yeah.
more diverse. They're doing things. There's an attack. There's a move. There's a counter move, right? Like we set up these like magic shields. Like that's like there's some shit going on. Whereas like with Infinity War, it's like it's just one type. It's mostly one type of enemy, which is just like the monster thingies. And then like they're just a big blobs are just mashing into each other, and it just makes Wakanda look makes the Wakandans look dumb, makes like Thanos look dumb, makes all the heroes look dumb. It's just yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the one thing I do prefer in the Wakanda battle was the like you'll die alone. She's not alone in like that kind of fight there. I don't know, cause like the
I
whole
mean,
like
didn't they just repeat that?
well, cause like there it felt like a lot. It felt better, I think, in that hey,
Maybe,
they're
but
here to help and defend.
this time they did it again.
Yeah,
It was
'cause,
just like,
I mean,
okay,
because the thing is with this time, it's like, hey, here's every single female character we have, and they're all going to be together to do this.
aha,
Like, oh, okay,
got him.
this whole like entire like huge battle, but
They
with
all grouped together.
yeah,
Okay, listen, all you girls have to like get out and like go there. It's like we're just gonna.
yeah, that's kind of like
Also,
my
they
only problem with that with the final battle, because I really liked the whole like you see Mjolnir lift up and fly to Cap's arm like
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
that
I like
like
the teamwork moments.
yeah.
That's what it's for. That's the thing about like the Whedon movies, right? Like teamwork moments where they like tag team a guy with like
Yeah.
combo moves.
Yeah.
Whereas like
That's what Whedon did
there,
right, I guess.
there was less of that in general after Whedon.
Hmm.
And then like in this one there was definitely felt like there was more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
With
there
the
were
whole,
still
like,
moments, yeah.
getting the
Where
gauntlet
like
back.
yeah, where they're like tossing it around or like and then like Spidey is like being dragged by the gauntlet. I mean,
Yeah,
not
by
dragged by
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
It was. But yeah.
And then Cap using the shield and hammer together.
Yeah. And then Thanos is like, "Oh, you're not gonna be able to stop me." And then he just like stands up, and then the shields start opening up.
Yeah.
Hmm. I don't
It's
know.
very
I
good.
think some people, especially those on Reddit, were like, "Oh, Thanos is right." They're kind of. It's. I mean, and then some people saying like, "Oh man, Thanos' idea isn't right. It's so stupid. Like, how can anyone think that?" And it's like, yeah, but the point is, he's the Mad Titan. He's not supposed to. It's not supposed to be a sound theory. Well, it's not supposed to be sound in theory, but if he believes it, then that makes him, a good villain
Dangerous.
because
He's a
yeah,
bad guy who doesn't think he's bad. He thinks he's doing the universe
yeah,
a service, and that's the most terrifying thing about him, is that
Yeah.
he believes in this
exactly.
thing.
And it's
Yeah.
really satisfying to see him like think that he's accomplished his goal and just relish in it.
Fall flat. Because then he even like quotes himself from like when he saw like the video, and then like,
Yeah.
oh, Iron
Yeah.
Man's got it.
I am inevitable. That's not how he
Yeah.
says it, but still.
Nice turnaround from like Infinity War that you like see like Thanos like looking around, seeing his army disintegrate before he's
Yeah,
done.
instead of like yeah. That was a nice mirror.
He just didn't say anything either. He
Yeah.
just fucking silent death.
Like Ebony or Moss, whatever his name is, just comes up as like, Thanos, I don't feel so good. uh, but yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to future content though, which is what
Who's gonna be the is it gonna is the mantle gonna like pass on to his like the Iron Man like mantle? Is that gonna like pass on to his
Morgan
daughter?
maybe.
See,
Because
I
like
don't know. I've seen people say that, but by the time of Endgame, she can't be any more than like 4 or 5 years old,
Yeah.
yeah,
and that's
That's the
the
thing.
latest that the MCU goes to. So
So it's like
I don't know.
yeah, I guess
How
we'll
are
have
they
to see.
gonna do
Like
it?
maybe I don't know. Is the what's it called? Is Pepper still in it, or is her like contract
she's
expired
like
too?
who knows?
Hmm.
Because like
With
the only thing is I
Paltrow's.
could see like she could still be in it, but I don't know. Maybe it'll just be like a future thing they get to when they do like the new Avengers in like 2023 or something.
Because I mean, like,
Yeah.
is she just gonna be like rescue, or is she gonna be like Iron Woman? Is the thing.
Maybe Iron Woman. I don't know.
She could just be end up being rescue. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it just depends on what direction they want to go with. If they
Yeah.
want to keep like Gwyneth Paltrow in it, and it's like, hey, it's
Yeah.
got.
Do they want to keep Gwyneth Paltrow? Is the question because
Yeah.
she is a little dicey,
Yeah.
her reputation. So yeah.
Right.
But then, yeah, and the other passing on the mantles was like Cap to Sam, Yeah, that's whatever. And then what was the last one? I remember there was like one more like scene where it was like passing the. Oh, it was Thor, but it wasn't really. It was just like
Yeah.
you're in charge of the people, right? But
I don't
he
want to
didn't
deal
give
with
her any.
this. You take care of this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go hang out with the Guardians.
I'm gonna go hang out where the action's happening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go
Like
hang out with James Gunn.
I
Yeah.
gotta go find like past Gamora and convince her that I'm actually worth dating, even though she's had like none of the experience with me.
Oh, that yeah, that they just
Oh,
kind of like left that like we're not gonna touch that.
Yeah.
We're not gonna mess with that
I'd be
until
really
later.
sad if like Gamora wasn't in Volume 3 and the last thing of her character is just kicking him in the balls.
Yeah. Yeah, but, I mean, I've heard people say that that's what Guardians 3 is going to be, like finding her and Thor fighting Adam.
I think that I mean,
It's
yeah,
probably
I think that
so.
sounds like the most likely thing.
Mm.
It's weird though that if that's the case, then how far out these things are actually planned? Because James Gunn wrote the script for Free, like at least a couple months before he was fired. I want to say like just after 2 or something.
Mm.
Wasn't long.
Yeah. Any closing thoughts on Endgame?
Love it
You know, it's
3000.
MCU. Give it a 7, 8 out of 10. 8, 8 out.
Yeah.
I'm not good with actual rating numbers,
Yeah.
but it's just like it was
It's
all right. It was
good
fun,
movie.
good
I
enough.
thought MCU are never gonna. Well, they probably won't top that for a long time.
Yeah,
So
I'm okay with them doing like more down to earth stuff in the future. Like like not everything has to be on level of Thanos, but certainly like if they want to do something on that level, like Galactus or Silver Surfer, that sort of thing, then I
yeah,
can kind of see that happening.
let's hope.
All right, so next one, talking about Disney Plus. So
Hello there.
Cammy's
Oh yeah,
back.
you're back.
Now
Was
You know
that
done
you
with
guys
we're
that
have
done
been
shit.
with the
doing that for
spoilers.
like an hour straight.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a pretty long 3 hour movie. How long do you expect the review's going to be?
Well,
I
2 hours of
fucking
discussion for
know.
1 hour of movie. So
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, it's looking pretty good, honestly. Like with the amount of like Marvel and Star Wars stuff they already have in the works. So I don't know. I guess it
Dude,
depends.
forget that shit. They have the entire like Simpsons on Netflix. I mean on Disney Plus. So now
Mm.
I can indulge myself in some Simpsons. Wow. This is great.
get more Homer emotes. Just like have a whole like lineup ready for when you get back.
Yeah, dude. I don't even think Homer Finger shows up in this show. I think it's just like art that they drew and it's just there.
Mm.
yeah, it does look like promotional that kind of stuff.
Yeah. It's just funny that it exists.
Yeah,
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I think the most interesting of the series though is going to be the what ifs. So I wonder like how many are going to be like how far they're probably going to go because like given that it is like a TV show budget, I imagine for a couple of them, like how drastic they want to take some of them because you could do like small minor ones that are maybe like, hey, here's one episode on like this strange like minor change, but then you got like bigger ones like if Tony Stark died in the cave or I don't know, just different takes.
I can tell you this much. Like for shows that have like movie actors in them, they're probably most of the budget's probably going to be on the actor rather than anything else.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
especially
sure
the
of that.
Loki one. Like
Yeah,
I imagine Tom
Loki?
Hiddleston's a bit expensive after the
I didn't
whole.
know that there was a Loki show.
Well, yeah, there is.
That just seems.
it's a prequel.
Of
Mm.
course it is.
And it's going to be written by the same
well, yeah.
by one of the Rick and Morty writers, so they're going to have epic pickle
What the
jokes
fuck?
about Loki turning himself into a pickle.
Wubba Lubba Dub Dub.
And
God
pickle
damn.
Loki.
Uh,
Oh,
What's
God.
my purpose, brother? You serve father and thunder.
You're the god of mischief. Oh my god.
mm. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, because like I've also heard from WandaVision that apparently that's going to be like in the 50s or something. Like that just seems a bit confusing. Like
Wait,
when
what?
that would be.
50s?
I know, because for WandaVision
Oh,
being like in the
50s
50s.
vibe, yeah.
But
WandaVision?
yeah, it's like a show with Wanda and Vision. Or
Oh, okay,
It's
supposedly
that's.
Vision.
I mean, like,
50s.
yeah, that's what I thought. But then, like, why in the 50s?
I don't know, just it's kind
Wait,
of weird.
what?
No, I think they said 50s vibe. I don't know if they
Vibe.
meant action in the 50s.
Yeah. Yeah,
They
it's
used
kind of
the
weird. It's
time
kind of
stone to
weird
go
how
back
they.
in time.
It's kind of weird how they
Why not?
describe that.
Why not 60s? The comics were made in the 60s.
Because maybe if they
Jeez.
mean like the vibe is in like the storytelling, then maybe that would kind of make sense. But I can't really
I
see
have
them
no
like
idea.
time traveling for WandaVision.
Yeah, because I mean,
No.
they already have like a lot of other shows like back then, like Agent Carter.
Hmm.
What do you think they'll do with that quantum tunnel?
Hmm.
Ignore it. 'Cause I just like. I'm always gonna be biased against
Never
time.
seen or heard from again.
Yep.
I'm
We
always
could have
biased
one
against
MCU
any time
concept,
travel.
but you know.
Hmm. Yeah.
Time travel's just strange,
Instead of giving these
uninteresting.
MCU actors their own shows, how about we just, finish Daredevil? Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Oh, if
sounds
only.
good.
I mean, because people
Yeah.
say like it's in the MCU, I guess, because like there's Stark Tower in like the skyline to one of the posters or
It's not
something.
real. It's like
Yeah.
it's more of like a one-way thing, probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is like a one-way love letter. It's just like, dude, we even referenced the fucking Harlem fight from the Hulk, dude. It's pretty
Yeah,
epic. Please notice us.
but I feel like it's one of those. It's. I draw comparisons to the comics maybe a bit too much, but I feel like that's the same in like Marvel comics, where so much will go on in one area for such a long time, where people think, "Oh shit, this is in the same universe as that,"
Yeah,
but they
Yeah,
don't.
but they
It's
do
like,
take notice of it eventually. That's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, they
yeah,
tried
even
pretty
if
hard for Defenders,
continuity
didn't they?
sucks for it.
Like Defenders is like, yeah, we're in the universe, guys. We're gonna
I
be in
mean,
one of the
are they
movies.
are they ever gonna
Defenders is
bring back
shit,
those
so
shows?
probably not.
Yeah. I mean,
Might take.
because like those were just like Netflix shows, right? Like,
Yeah,
were
but
they
like,
part of?
why would they like? So is there like nothing that can be carried over?
I mean, I'm not sure if they. I don't know if they really want to. Like, I don't know. I guess those kind of have small fan bases, and they were kind of looking at like, hey, we want to start fresh with like our stuff, our writers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
even like acknowledge like a show that actually was like deeply tied into like the movies, or not deeply, but just like really
Agents of
like in
Shield.
there, like Agents of Shield.
Yeah.
And
Was
then
that
towards
also
the
a
end, they were
Netflix
just like,
show?
okay, just fuck off.
Was Shield also? Was that also a Netflix show?
No, that was an ABC show, which is like
Oh, okay.
a Disney owned
Yeah,
station. So
ABC owned
like,
by Disney.
What, Agents of
so
Shield?
it should be like a reference at least, because they do have like a lot of shit going on in that show, like Ghost Rider and whatever. It's just like, no, it's not
Hmm.
even reference. They even got fucking Nick Fury on the show, and it still doesn't mean anything.
It
It's
was
mainly
probably
there
like
just for like, hey, here's Agent Coulson doing stuff
it
because
was probably like a bit of an experiment that they just decided not to go through with.
yeah, I
Either
guess.
that or like I heard, isn't like the person who runs the TV shows like a rival of the person who runs like the movies?
I think,
Not sure.
well, not rivals. They're supposed to be like working together, but it's just like the MCU, the movies, and the TV shows are like
I
on
thought they
two different
disliked each other.
wavelengths. Yeah,
Hmm.
and they just don't like each other anymore.
Which is a bit sad because
Yeah.
I like the concept of like Agents of Shield being like a bit down to earth, like, hey, what happens afterwards? Like, through a dark world, they're kind of like cleaning up the aftermath of that one of the episodes, and
Yeah.
then they catch like space AIDS or something. I don't know. I forget that. I forget the plot.
The worst kind of AIDS.
Space AIDS.
Dude, we have fucking space aid. What are we going to do? I don't know, but let's not participate in the MCU. Let's go that way.
Hmm. No,
Also,
they
I
got
mean, like the
snapped.
timeline's also kind of broken, so it's just like kind of like intertwined to pieces, so it's kind of like not possible now, especially because like Homecoming kind of fucked up like the year, because they said like the Battle of New York was like this time, and it's like this far into the future afterwards, where like the actual movie takes place. So
Hmm.
it's like they said that the MCU takes place like every year that it comes out. So like if Iron Man comes out in like was it like 2008 or 2009, then it takes place in that year, and then the sequel.
I thought that's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it was. But then Spider-Man: Homecoming is just like let's just forget that we even did that and just it ruined everything. So it's like now it's like broken and all over the place. So like
I don't
trying
know
to
what you mean.
like
What did Homecoming even do?
Homecoming, like they said that Spider-Man: Homecoming takes place like 2 years further than it was supposed to, or something like that.
I don't
Because
remember this.
don't you remember the beginning of the movie where they were like cleaning up after the Battle of New York, and then
Yeah, that was like 2012 or something, right?
Yeah.
yeah, but then they said like a couple years into the future, they had like a number, I forgot what it was, but it didn't. The math, I don't think added up.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just some
Yeah, well,
retcon because like
I don't know.
it might not line up with the MC now, and I don't know. I guess it's all right because it's just like the sequence of events doesn't really bother me too much. Like, hey, this person said this many years when it's actually should be this many. Like, I don't know,
I
just
hope somebody gets fired for that blunder.
Hmm.
and it's kind of hard when you with like a I guess with a universe as big as that you can like coordinate between all the writers. Like, okay, when do you want this to happen? What are we doing with this character? And it's just kind of like turns out he's traversed time or something, and then like doesn't line up with what another movie says. Kind of like
Yeah, I mean
Legends.
that's like something like Baron, not Baron, Thrawn's. That's something that Thrawn's mentioned, like especially with Star Wars. Is like
Yeah.
one of the big advantages now is that they have like a story group to it. So like I guess it can be like a little bit more paced properly or like correlated properly.
Hmm.
And the same thing goes for the MCU. They have a group that like sits down and like plan this shit out, and it's just like
The
this
TV
is the
people are
better
not on
track.
board.
Yeah, I guess it's because it's like too big. It's kind of hard to like moderate everything, but it just like doesn't really feel like there was much of an effort there in the first place, rather than just getting the stuff off the ground.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, like I'm pretty sure you don't have that big of opinion on a new Spider-Man as well, so it doesn't really help
But
that. Yeah.
but I don't really like the other Spider-Man. I like Into the Spider-Verse a lot. It's like my second favorite movie, but it's like the other movies I don't really care about too much. Like I know like Spider-Man 2 is great, and I like Spider-Man, like the Sam Raimi stuff and the Amazing Spider-Man. I liked the first one for a little bit, and it's just like it kind of grew off of me. But
Hmm.
I and then like the Tom Holland Spider-Man, I think is like dog shit.
Hmm.
So I guess you could say I don't like that Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm a Spider-Man purist.
I guess it would kind of be
Good
interesting to
stuff.
see like what the like into this or not into was it Far From Home, like how the events of like the previous movies like end up affecting them. So because like apparently the writer said that they took that into account when they wrote it. So guess we'll have to see. Because like I mean I'm kind of hoping that like we kind of do see like a different Peter Parker. But maybe they'll just have like the same form. Like, hey, here's some funny jokes and references, right? He's a relatable
Here's
guy.
Mysterio.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't think that his references are the problem. I just think his character is
Hmm.
not Spider-Man. It's like it says that it's Spider-Man, but it's like it's not like Peter Parker. Like it's just some kid
Hmm.
that's just happens to be Spider-Man. Yahoo, let's go.
Hmm.
No, actually, explain that because like I'm not familiar with all the different variations. Because like so,
Well,
yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, like, Peter Parker just has like this like individuality to him, where like he does things, because it's right. He does things because he doesn't want anybody else to suffer. And in Homecoming, and I just feels completely lost because like I'm not saying that he isn't like doing it for those reasons, but I feel like the most like prominent reason is that he just wants attention to become an Avenger, and that's not really something like Spider-Man would do. Because I mean, he just like he actually like just fucking hated being a part of teams. I think in the comics, like I know the first issue, whatever, he like wanted to join the Fantastic Four, and then they said fuck off, and he's like, all right, I just do shit my way.
Rightfully so. Get the fuck out of this, buddy. You're not good enough.
Yeah.
I
So
think the
like I
Justice
guess
League denied him in one of the crossover things as well.
no, that was actually a fan edit.
Was it?
Yeah,
I
it
thought I
is.
remember
A lot of people fall for that.
Oh,
They make like a lot of fan edits. You should look at their page sometime.
Yeah, because there was actually like one crossover thing though where it's like two like dudes with a box and like if it falls apart the universe collapses and just like it starts to cross over heroes into like each other's universes. I don't know, it was
What
weird.
the fuck?
It is a really weird like order comic, and then it yeah, it just got really odd.
Never forget that Sonic and Savage Dragon crossed over.
I don't even know
And
what a
it's canon.
Savage Dragon is.
Image comics like Spawn, whatever.
Oh.
Hmm.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Spawn was in there too. Now that I think about it, it was a bunch of them, bunch of Image characters crossing over with Sonic.
God, that's awful.
I mean, I don't know. I saw Homecoming as kind of a break from the films that clearly tried to adapt the comics too much and just fell short. Like Flash Thompson wasn't that conventional like bully that's just a meathead who goes and beats the fuck out of Peter Parker and like, oh, look at him, he's so tortured and whatever. But instead, just kind of that Generation Z douchebag who like bullies people on social media and stuff.
I don't know, Flash. I mean, like, I felt like he could have been a better bully. Like, you can have him be a different type of bully, but he wasn't actually good at it.
But he
I didn't really
called him
feel.
Penis Parker.
That's not.
I mean, I know that Flash like starts off as like a bully, but like later on, especially, it's not even just like exclusive to comic books. This concept because it was like in like shows and whatever. But like,
Spectacular.
well,
Actually,
yeah,
no, not yet.
Spectacular. But
Not,
like
not as much.
he does get a little bit more layered. Like it's a little bit more to it than just like meathead bully, whatever. Like they could have done something like that. Like just not make him because like he is as one note as the other movies, I suppose. But I feel like this movie could have done like a lot more because.
I don't know.
But I think maybe it's like time constraints or something that they couldn't like put it all together. 'Cause I feel like there was like actually like something there, but then it just became like all like the effort was like in one spot, and it was like in Spider-Man, and it didn't really do that well. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it's just I don't like Homecoming or Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Hopefully the next movie's alright. I'm gonna go see that one, that's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Mysterio looks good enough, you know.
Mysterious one sexy bitch, dude.
Jake Gyllenhaal. Yeah.
Well, someone's already used the term Stan in association with Mysterio, so it's pretty much downhill from here.
Yeah.
I don't know what's a stand.
Okay, so let me tell you exactly how Stan came about. You know the song, well, not exactly how, but like you know Eminem song Stan. I think it's
Oh,
called
yeah.
Stan. And it's about the crazy fan whose name is Stan. That's not a rhyming song, but like yeah, it's called Stan. And it's basically about this obsessive fan who like constantly writes letters to Eminem, and then he gets angry when Eminem doesn't respond, and he eventually like ends up kidnapping his pregnant girlfriend, putting her in her trunk, and then driving a car and then crashing it and dying.
Huh.
That's the song. And eventually, I guess people, because we live in a fucking layers of irony society,
Gamers fries up.
people decided like to like say, oh, I'm a stan for this person, which means like a super fan. But yeah, it's like I'm obsessed with like this person. But now it's
That's
become
not healthy.
diluted. It's become diluted into just, oh, I'm a fan. You know, the original song is like, this person is unhealthily obsessed with this celebrity figure
Yeah. So
and
of course
literally
Twitter like
dies.
it's like just people on Twitter will be like, oh look at that, isn't that cool and quirky? You know.
Yeah, I'm a stan.
Dude, he kidnapped his fucking pregnant girlfriend. That's cool and quirky. I want to be just like him.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, how
That's-
romantic.
Dude, I mean,
He was just gay from Eminem.
dude, I want Eminem in my candy pack.
Jeez. But yeah, that's how Stan came about. And that's why I don't like to call anyone a Stan or call myself a Stan. Of
But that
anything.
was really lame. Just Eminem made up this word.
No, it's well, he didn't make it up. It's
Well, I
people.
mean, like,
The word
it's a
Stan is
term that
already
got adopted that came from Eminem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Alright, well, thanks for watching this podcast, and see you in the next one.